Gym in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, and we're going to talk a little about the bench press. This is my wife, Terry Grimwood. As you know, the only woman in the world that ever bench pressed 400 pounds. We've got a few lifters today that are going to help us. Scott Lewis and Todd Hall, our super heavyweight. Regardless if you bench 600 pounds or 100 pounds, we always start out lifting the bar. So I'm going to put Tamara on the bench and line her, and hopefully we can show you a few things to do and help your bench press. And let's get started. Tamara, you want to jump on the bench? Let's go. Okay. One thing you want to make sure is your head never extends past the end of the bench. Probably a good rule of thumb is to give yourself 6 inches from the end of the bench to the top of your head. Okay, it's just going to slide down just a little bit. That's great. Okay, the tapering marks. If you're a lifter, you always want to make sure that you align your fingers properly on the tapering marks. For Tamara, it's her middle finger. Okay? If you're narrow shoulders, you might want to come in a little bit. Put your pinky finger in. Now this is going to utilize your back and chest and shoulders through the lower movement, rather than have all the stress on your shoulders down low. Okay, Tamara's going to start. She double checks her grip. She's aligned on the bench. Takes the bar off. Now the bar is not held over your face. A lot of people make that mistake. It should be comfortably balanced over your chest. Feet on the floor, butt touching, shoulders square and tucked in. Okay, she's going to do her warm-ups. Now as you'll notice, the bar hits at a point below the center of her chest. Okay, the center of her chest is here. The bar hits at a point below that. Okay, now what this does is this allows the back and the lats to really work at their fullest at the lower range. Okay, rack. Okay, now we always use a spotter. Doesn't matter if it's 135 or not. Now Scott, index finger, he's got big broad shoulders. His index finger's right here on a tapering mark. Okay, you see how he creates an arch? I can put my hand through there. He creates an arch with his back. His glutes are tight and his shoulders are tucked down in on the bench. Okay? Feet firmly placed on the floor. This is the bench position, whether you're benching 700 pounds or 100. Hand off, let go, and up. Now you'll see there's a natural arc to the movement. It's down lower chest and arcing backwards slightly. That's your normal range of motion. I'm going to show you a few tricks. A lot of people have problems with their butt rising up off the bench. Let me show you a little trick here with squeezing your legs. Okay? Now let's align yourself properly. You have your 6 inches. Okay. And she's pulling back, taking her shoulders into the bench. It's always a good idea. You want to set up exactly the same way every time. Okay. Now, Tamara, spread your legs a little bit and push on the balls of your feet and show what happens when you drive. Just leave the bar racked. You drive and your butt comes up off. Okay? See your butt will come up off? Now what you can do to avoid that is take your legs and squeeze the bench with your inner thighs. Okay, so what's happening here is you're using your inner thighs, you're pulling your legs back underneath, and you're squeezing the bench. So even if you try to pull yourself up, and try to, you can't lift your butt off the bench. And this will create a nice, firm, stationary position for you to bench with. Scott Lewis is on the bench now. Open your hand up, Scott. Scott also puts his index finger now on the tapering mark. Scott, your fingers were
Right about there.
about, I'd say 2 inches in. He just increased his reps on his training days by 5 reps just from moving his fingers out. Of course, this keeps your triceps from fatiguing later on in the set. Okay, he sets up over his chest. If you notice, his elbows are at a 45-degree angle. We're going to talk about this more when Todd gets on the bench. He brings the bar below his chest and an arcing range back. Todd, jump on here real quickly, please. Let's talk about this problem that Todd had when he started benching competitively a couple of years ago. I'm going to show you the improper way to bring the bar down. Off. Now he used to take his elbows and flare them out. Can you hold that right there, Todd? You'll see he's at 90 degrees with his body. You want more of a 45-degree angle press up. Not the shoulder bench. A lot of guys will shoulder bench. That's a bodybuilding type movement. Okay, now the power movement. Bar is lower, the elbow is turned in more towards 45 degrees, and we arc back. Good. You want to get a few reps in time? Okay, those elbows are pointed down more 45 degrees than straight out. Okay, thank you. Right now we're going to move right to an assistance exercise we use, which is called a bench breaker. Okay, Todd, lay down on the bench, please. What we have here is safety racks on either side of the bench. Todd's going to bring the bar out just like he benches it, except for he's going to lower the bar to the racks without bouncing it, and slowly and smoothly press it to the top position. Okay? Okay. Just like your bench press, you stop and then a press. Stop and then a press. This really works your triceps and your lockout push for the bench press. Okay, we call this our bench breaker. We do this for a set of 5 and wrap. Okay, as you see, we have the safety racks rather high, not lower to your chest. We're only working the last 6 inches of the movement. So you want to make sure whether you're working a cage or use safety racks that you keep the racks within 6 inches of your lockout. Do 5 reps, 3 sets progressive to work your triceps at the end of the workout. This particular exercise will put 20, 30 pounds on your bench press come competition time. Promise you.
It seems only fitting that monster bencher Jamie Harris